Hey guys, I'm here. My friends, Mark.
Hey.
Yeah, there's Greg. There's Mark. And I saw some ordinary gamers do a creepypasta called "I Slightly Dislike You," and I was like, you know what? Might as well read it myself. This is I think one of the first time. This is the first time he's seen this. This is the first time Mark's seen this.
Alright.
Greg's already read it a couple times with me. Well, here goes. Who wants to go first?
Me.
You want to go first?
Yeah.
Really?
Alright. Start.
You're on camera here.
I slightly dislike you. Start right there.
This isn't one of those sexy game stories. At no point are you going to hear me claim something within the game tried to rape me. Just one, my face,
on
or
my face.
forced me to masturbate uncontrollably. No,
Probably.
this isn't about a sexy game or a game doing something ultra smexy or even something hyper realistic.
Can I just say something? That picture though, the dog.jpg on.
That's not even a dog. It's just that she's watching you masturbate. Masturbate.
This isn't about a bitch or hidden Fire Nation propaganda, and at no time did I phone a sex hotline only to have my question answered by Azula, Slenderman, the Toppler, or Azula. Go down. Where was I reading? This story is about a game featuring Azula. I don't think anyone else has uncocked that it's no toes. No, it's all a conspiracy, man. Just secret we were all supposed to bind.
Fine.
Fine, but never did. Something that changes an entire generation's virginity and the very essence of a multi-bazillion bagillion peso franchise.
Here, I'll take it over.
Read it, so it's funny.
This is what I assume to be a previously undiscovered alternate ending to Super Ang World for the Super Nintendo. You know what? I'm just gonna call it Super Nintendo because I can't spell it. I can't pronounce that shit. For the Super Nintendo. There are no cliches whatsoever in the story. None at all. No hyper-realistic blood. No parts in the game where I couldn't control my character. But I didn't get this game for free off eBay, and I wasn't an intern at the company that owns the franchise. Nah, just kidding. This is a gaming creepypasta. It's gonna have every cliche in the book, just like all the other gaming creepypastas. In 1669, I recreated my first computer as a death day gift. I'd been on the interweb before. Had used computers before. But had always been at a school or at a pimp's house. This one was mine. All mine. Just like Ellie Kid's nips. I explored the crude prehistoric web of the time with great interest. I downloaded all sorts of pornography and even printed it out for research. I also pirated media like a madman. Music, games, porn, games, films, music, porn, games, film, music, porn, anything.
Porn.
This is this is when I first discovered Axel Society. I never had a Super Nintendo as Nintendo as an little old man, so it was all new to me. So I downloaded tons of games along with the SNES emulator, which I got off eBay for free. But Axel Society was my favorite.
Read that one.
For over a decade, the World of Warcraft was my time-wasting hobby. I played it over and over again, beating the game faster and faster until I began to lazily explore the world with no particular purpose, because I have no life.
Let me read it.
Alright.
Gay Genie Coats.
Hey, why didn't you turn to read?
Alright, here. Let him read.
Go read it.
Let him read.
Gay Genie Coats.
Hey. It's not facing me.
There you go.
Okay. Gay genie codes helped immensely. I could turn off the timer and relive particularly entertaining map for an hour. Again, no life. As I waited for a download of any number of boring events. It was in this manner that I must have beaten and rebeaten my dick thousands upon thousands of times.
The fuck?
There was comfort in the obsessive compulsive behavior of this routine, But all of that was shattered when I saw the non-blind Toph. The non-blind Toph, as I referred to her, was hovering over the exit from the horny sex ship level.
What the fuck?
Later on it that the game. I call her non-blind because she actually looked at things and seemed to recognize them. It was like someone had made a lazy ROM hack. But I knew from years upon years of experience that this was a normal game. Even though I've only just seen this in the game, and it's all new to me. So how the fuck can I still think it's part of the actual game? But wait.
But I've never.
I'm sorry, it's text. But I never even not done it anyway. So shut up. The errors, they confuse me. The non-blind Toph just hung over the exit pipe, blocking it. I turned my back on her, but she didn't chase me. How could she? She was busy having a threesome with Sokka and Zuko.
Alright, hold on. I want to read this part. Alright.
How could she?
And then I noticed something else out of sorts. Still, this didn't belong there, and I knew it. The fact that Toph could actually see nearly gave me a heart attack, and to this day my heart hurts and is sore. For a moment, I considered the fact that I'd actually broken a ROM file from overuse, which is possible. I did play it for over a fucking decade. After taking a screenshot specifically to show all you avatars out there, I picked up the key and opened the door, figuring the game would spaz out and I'd have to restart. Instead, it opened up a new path in the map selection screen. Oh god. An anus next to Ozai's already creepy head cave thingamajigabee. I pressed the right arrow and moved on to the chocolate starfish. You gonna read this together?
Oh, sure.
No. Not the semen! Not the semen! Ah! Oh, it's in my eyes! My eyes! This didn't really strike me as odd, because if you're familiar with the JQWDDD, whatever the fuck Swirl's game, there is an area called Fart Road that you may know has similar names. Just stuff like Sholok? Chingluk? No matters of dumb words and phrases. Most of the areas are called Vagina Forest 1 and Nutsack Mountain 3 and all that. But there were maps with odd names like that. What did concern me was Aang's expression: surprise, shock, fear, arousal, barbecue sauce, butter. I entered the butt. Here, I'm done. Here, you go.
Okay.
Oh, Mark's back.
Okay. I'm going.
Right there.
Oddly enough, the asshole in the middle of the lake began with the standard Hell 666 entry animation. Aang walked up to a hyper-realistic door with the words Hell 666 written in equally hyper-realistic blood. While the Lavender Town theme played in reverse, he looked up, heard the awful Kefka laugh, and went in. I can tell it was under lava though, because everyone melted almost instantly. Inside the castle, it started to look more and more like I was, in fact, experiencing a glitch. But this gaming pasta isn't about a glitch. It has no cliches whatsoever. So shut up. Did I mention I was an internet? You know what? It really doesn't matter. Back to the plot. There was no room to jump, no room to do anything but run left and right. In fact, I must have gone right for 10 to 20 minutes, just holding the beat button and running along at full speed. So naturally I got bored and decided to shut the game off and do something productive with my life. The end. Not! Who do you? Did you really think he is agreeing PB pasta where the protagonist has any degrees of common sense?
Of course I continued playing .exe. After a while I ran into one or two non-blind Tophs. Yes, two. It appears Tophs has mastered the art of shadow clone jutsu. The fuck? Where's that from?
Naruto.
Oh wow. Oh well, I'm not one to complain. This simply means there's more of the glorious, magnificent Toph to go around in the whiteness above. Then 3 or 4. Then the screen was full of them. They just kind of hung there doing nothing. They wouldn't chase me if I turned back, as with the previous non-blind Toph. Although they had no reason not to chase me, as they weren't having an orgy with a bunch of Zoka and Zuko clones. They all must be too stoned to care or something. If I made any noise, like fapping, they were just gonna say, "Do it! You've got the stuff." Like they could hear the sound of fapping from the game world, but couldn't do anything about it because they couldn't reach out of the screen and eat me. That would be pretty cliche, don't you think? LOLs, I'm so random. Then something made me stop and turn the other way. Now, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that this map was designed specifically to troll the player. Not because the giant Mellow Lord was farting profusely, but because its gas was inescapable. Here, Mark, you wanna read this part?
Next.
There was literally no way to avoid being killed by it. As you can clearly see above, well, not really. The author of the parody is too lazy to make edited pictures to go along with it. That is, unless you're like me and you have no life, I switch on the code for permanent sexiness. I let the Melon Lord chase me for a while and I was sexy. I just to get a good look at me thing.
The thing.
The thing.
And killed it with my sexy touch.
Yep.
Only when I saw a message that hadn't been there when I passed before. I slightly dislike you.
I slightly dislike you.
That kind of creeped me out and gave me another heart attack, rendering me catatonic for a few more days. Hey, if you've been doing nothing but playing the same game over and over again, anything I could give you a heart attack. But on the other hand, it was kind of interesting because it meant this was definitely a map that was supposed to exist. Not a glitch in the slightest or an evil satanic spirit that coincidentally looks like a character from the normal game or show. There was more than plot element here, something undiscovered.
Here, I'll read this part.
Oh, well, hey, it's my turn.
What did it mean? Okay.
You already went, bro. What did it mean? Who hated me? Firelord Ozai? Seemed the obvious answer, cause he's such a cunt. It's true, he was. Or maybe just the tops. When you're in Hyperrealistic Castle that you found by way of a haunted ship, a bloody looking hate message isn't so unbelievable. Also the fact that Toph is a massive troll anyway. I saw it again as I approached Sazuko-Aizen. Sazuko-Aizen. What? Okay. I was thankful that the non-blind tops ended at this point, because the more I watched them wander around not knowing what to do with their newfound powers, the uneasier I felt, almost empathetic toward them, etc. The thankfulness ended when I turned my back to Aizen and this happened. Aizen looked directly at me and said, "Just as planned." This made me shit myself. Everything in the universe was part of Aizen's plan. Even getting his ass kicked by Ichigo is part of his plan. Was this planning on me playing this game for over a decade since before I was born? Could Aizen actually be the Illuminati?
Hey! Dad's asleep.
And yes, of course, I'm going to address the message you saw in the non-existent picture. How would it get burned? I don't know how. Am I supposed to? Who's asking? I felt the Aizen touch me. I let the Aizen touch me, and he died like the Melon Lord, of which I was encountered too. Despite any attempt to scare the player, I knew that being said sexy meant sexy, no matter what. We're not talking about Shark. What they do with me? This is Avatar. There you go.
After a while of running down this strange, open, claustrophobic corridor with no more eventful happenings, I came to a room with an exit pipe. Taking the pipe downward, I came out in the other end and jumped into a room of, yep, you guessed it, semen.
Ew.
The semen made sense, being another Maddie Sensei 666 / Makuta Zadirect 727 Avatar Troll Pasta or Ava Pasta and all like, comment, subscribe. Apparently I just advertised myself in a creepy pasta or troll pasta or Ava pasta, whatever the fuck this is. I was rewarded with my troubles with a question mark block that released a magic mushroom for me. I could have easily done this with a cheat code, but the thought of it escaped me as I faced all these old and new and strange and normal sights. The first creatures I encountered under the underseaman portion of the castle were Machika Tunichi. Unless you've been living under a rock since forever, you know what Machika Tunichi are. I don't even... So I'm not even gonna bother describing them to you. Well, these little motherfuckers... I can't say it. I'm just gonna call them little motherfuckers. Well, these little motherfuckers land up in a tight row. Dropped acid poop repeatedly and randomly without real trick or any sense of logic. They would just wait or drop whenever they seem like it. It's looked like these... Machika Tunichi, I don't know. He's successful Machika Tunichi. More hyper-realistic semen. This was getting pretty unusual for Avatar. The last... What? The last Chairbender franchise, which I hadn't recalled seeing semen in at all. Or one of the main antagonists from Bleach, for that matter. Now that Now I'd seen it everywhere, and these perpetually smashing, grinding Machika Tunichi, who were raping their victims, to a pulp, forever and ever and ever and ever. In the hampering effects of the semen, I walked slowly under things, making sure every single one touched me and died. Mwahahaha. There were almost 30 million of them in a row. I know because I counted because as previously stated, I have no life.
Alright,
Alright, go on.
The sight of them mindlessly crushing over and over again just made me hate them with an unsettling intensity of periodic table proportions.
Periodic table proportions?
What's weird is that the semen caused Aang to slide as if he were on an ice level. Isn't semen supposed to be sticky? After walking through that gauntlet of depravity, filled with an ultimatum of transcendent despair, burning fiercely with the dark, dank animosity of the ages until the end of all things, in this inferior world that truly make us at one with ourselves, the eyes swarm in the more open area that was filled with dildos on the floor and ceiling. If you've read my other story, you should have seen this coming at least 20 million miles away. It was difficult to fathom this man without touching the dildos, but since I was still sexy, I didn't think much of it. I avoided them more for lols than any out of the sense I'd be damaged. It stopped being lolzy really fast though. Now I knew some of what was going on. The bloody mess.
The
Machika Tunichi. The Michu.
Just call them little motherfuckers. Yeah.
Okay.
Shit.
Boner farts. Unending spattering.
Okay.
It was other Aangs. Past avatars that had tried to traverse this gauntlet of purple tropes and failed. I had to admit, this was an excellent touch. Excelente touch. Even if it was a bit stupid. Why would stupid? Why would Avatar die a million times to the same thing? Whoever designed this map actually broke the transdimensional rift and showed you the bloated, motionless abortions of the player's own ceaselessness discharge.
What?
The seizure of brutality and the tiny meaningless dark, dank pit depravity suckling on the breast of despair that was Aang's life.
Breast of despair?
The bodies only floated straight up and down a tiny bit, as if to show the effect of a light current, or on again, off erections, or
off again erections? Okay.
It was genius. It was genius, and I could believe I might be the first and only person to see this because I broke the game from overuse.
I told with the idea of taking more than one non-existent screenshot that I just presented to you, basically to show all of you that, so all of you could enjoy the fapping to the secret maps I had, especially this little weird touch of boobs and top ex Azula fanfics. But without swimming, without kicking, or moving in any other way, the dead avatars started to come at me like torpedoes. Wow. Their faces remained blank and blue, yellow, pink, whatever, and dead. But they move with astounding speed. Here, my takeover. I can't. My throat. Something in my throat.
They angled and positioned and worked all sorts of unique sex position, missionary, doggy style, etc., etc. That left me almost nowhere to come. They continued coming at me and swarming and begging to try again, please. And I just couldn't bring myself to let them touch me, man. Even though I used a permanent sexiness cheat, which according to this bollocks translates to invincibility, which basically means that Ang zombies would die if they touched me. But I've been playing this game for so long, I'm actually convinced the characters are real, so shut up!
Okay. Back in the game. The corridor... Oh wait, no. So, shut up. I move with more speed and skill than I've ever exerted, frantically trying to keep the Aang free of the psycho rapists that seem dead set on rocketing straight into his anus. When I finally reached the purple people eater you don't see above, there had to be like 10 million of those things right behind, pitching, turning, and trying to rape me. I entered the purple people eater as fast as I could, thankful that it properly worked and had Aang out of that situation in a fart beat. What the fuck are we reading? Is the question I ask myself every time I read this. But then again, it's a good masterpiece. Anyway, the corridor that followed was empty, thankfully. It was just a red and black hyper-realistic hallway of death, with nothing to avoid or kill. It was boring and unpredictable like the game had been all these years. So, boring and predictable. So I decided to turn it off and nope, still going. At the end of the hallway, I came to the standard pair of tits used to enter the face. Wait, what? I came to the standard pair of tits used to enter to face the final boss. Beside the doorway, a bong filled with crystal meth. I didn't touch that shit!
Shoot.
So it's pointless me even mentioning it since you'll never find out what it does. Going through the doors, you would expect the typical change of map views occurred, and Aang was standing on the ubiquitous excessive Millie Bridge over boiling semen. Or had it been milk all along? When Aang walked out of the bridge, however, there was no boss creature.
I wanna go. Okay. Okay. Instead, Aang immediately looked to the side and froze. I can't control him anymore. He just stood there. That's never happened in the game pre-pasta, right? Yeah, that's totally original and scary. Good job, Rain. Keep looking. Yep, my brain's original. Keep looking until you see it. I didn't even see it at first, so I don't expect you to notice it right away. If you still haven't spotted the thing, look in the third window from the left.
Hold on, I'm getting a call. I'll be right back.
Why? That's not usually there. There's this scary thing right there. It doesn't do anything really, it's just creepy. Right there, just right there. Keep looking. You'll spot it eventually. It's just there. You see it? Can you see it? Shut the fuck between the story, said Aang. Aang seemed to regain his composure and looked back and forth slowly, surveying the room. There was still no boss, and I still can control him. So I stopped trying and just watched. This went on and on for what seemed like forever. Nothing happened. So I turned the game. Oh, just shut the fuck! The joke wasn't funny the first time. You did it, and it won't be now.
Wait, I want to read this word. Then a familiar face walked in from the right, dressed in blue, tall, an angry. No way.
It was Nicolas Cage.
It was Nicolas Cage. Aang recoiled in horror. It's difficult to say that without thinking how stupid it sounds, but Aang really reeled back with a sort of terror that was uncharacteristic for such a peppy, happy-go-lucky kid like him. Everybody narrating blazes when you read. Then Cage spoke. Did you really think that Ozai worked alone? Well, no, not really. He had his psycho bitch daughter and an army of firebenders. It was all connecting now. The messages scrawled on the walls. I slightly dislike you. And how to get burned. Nicolas Cage. He's always been Aang's second banana. The player too. The one who doesn't get that sweet Katara booty in these early games. No matter how identical he is to Aang in skill set and ability, and tenaciousness and bravery, at the end of the day, the game is Super Aang Brothers, and he's just the brother. Here, Greg, read this part.
Okay.
This like splits into two parts.
Where am I? Right. What the fuck is this? Aang Nicolas Cage never have and never will be a team.
Don't you question my methods, Zuzu. Trust me, people will love this story. Then me and Zozu Kaisen will rule the creepypasta community as husband and wife. Well, not really, since I'm married to Ty Lee, but whatever. How he must have hated Aang. Who among us would? Think about it. No matter what happens, Aang always comes back. No matter how many corpses he leaves littering the battlefield, he's always there once more to leap and cheer and get all the adoration. And so does Nicolas Cage. He's the Luigi of the story, right? And Ozai hadn't worked alone. Here, you read the part.
And Ozai hadn't worked alone.
Narrator voice, bitch.
Oh, yeah. And Ozai hadn't worked alone. I didn't know what that meant at first, if anything. But again, you just have to think it through. How exactly does Fire Ozai consistently succeed in trolling the other nations? From day one, from the original Aang brothers onward, it had always been an inside job, just like 9/11. Still unable to control the character. I watched Aang simply shit himself in the field as Cage leapt gracefully into the air, as high as he could, in M Night Shyamalan's. The last Airbender, the bastard child of the franchise. He jumped out the pathetic poop-ridden Aang again and again and again. I was powerless to stop it, even though I could just, shut off the game, but I'm just dumb like that. When he was done, he seemed to look at Aang's limp body with the overwhelming cageness. Then the bridge started to disappear. Soon, Aang would be dead, and I looked on. I had an irrational thought. How did it get burned?
Okay, wait. Oh shit, the mouse is falling. Oh fuck. Okay.
Scheiße.
Was in an actual instant, as Cage turned to seemingly strut a Ginyu Force pose, like he'd beaten the level. Aang awkwardly got to his feet and took him by surprise. Fapping and sexiness and constipation had given way to anger. Get it? Anger. And Aang overpowered his bro with little effort. To this day, I'm still aroused by the final result of this wrathful, desolate conglomeration of instantaneous despair, depravity, and reprisal. My feet still hurt and are sore.exe. Alright, let's read this together, guys. No, not the semen! Not the semen! There was the level's title. None of it was a itch. None of it was a mistake. It wasn't a developer getting back at Nintendo. And it wasn't a ghost hunting a Nintendo cartridge. It was a purposeful part of Aizen's plan. If you beat the same dick X number of times, a secret part of the universe opened, and you learned that from Aang Brothers to Aangland, Nicolas Cage had secretly been working against you and was in fact facilitating the repeated abduction and abuse of Katara, Toph, and others. But why? Money? Power? No. It was all there, because he couldn't take not being the one in the spotlight, not being Aang himself. After Cage died, well and truly dieted, Aang just sat on the edge of the bridge and fapped. I was forced to watch this for the minutes on end before the screen faded to black. I
Wait.
played the rest of the game through to see if nothing had changed.
See if nothing else odd happened apart from the hyper-realistic blood and the beast version of our mascot. Aang that was unlocked as a playable character, as one would expect since this whole ordeal was supposed to be part of Aizen's plan. I could access the butthole again.
Aww.
I'd seen the events once, and that was all I was apparently allowed. Then again, why would I want to? The level itself was fucking boring. 3 hours of just running right with nothing that can kill you. No thanks.
Thanks.
It was back to the game as usual, the same exact game I'd played since the 90s, and would probably continue to play the rest of my days because I have no life.
Well, it was the same except for the final image, which you'll never see anyway, so shut up. So, what you guys think?
I thought it was silly,
No, it's just
stupid.
Give it a rating out of 10.
I give it 9,000 out of 10.
420 out of 10.
9.5.
Oh yeah, 1337 out of 10.
The only part that the reason why I didn't say 420 million, actually 420 billion.
No, that'd be too generous.
420 million.
Could've-
420
I don't
trillion.
know.
420 trillion. The only thing that doesn't make it quadrillion is the
Could've-
fact that I couldn't access the butthole again.
Could have had more Adam Sandler.
Nah, Nicolas Cage was the perfect match.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage.
I have to agree with you there. I have to agree with you
Nicolas
there.
Cage.
I have to agree with you there.
Alright. Next time we do this, we're probably, I don't know, you guys,
We can do a playthrough if you want.
I don't know, because
You can do a playthrough.
do you have the equipment for it?
I don't know.
That was sexy.
Do we need it?
Dude, Christmas is coming soon.
Christmas
Fuck yeah.
is soon, man.
Alright, so have a happy Thanksgiving. This is recording Happy Thanksgiving.
Have a nice day.
Have-
Have
And
a
remember,
nice day.
remember, don't do school. Eat your drugs.
Nice school,
And
man.
And stay
and
on
vegetables.
Junior had a bunch of guns, man. I'll tell you that.
Alright, anyway, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Laters.
Hope you have time with the tea party.
Stop, Coca. Get out, Coca-Cola.
Alright. Later, guys. You guys want to say anything before we go?
I'll
One
stop
thing.
at least.
Oh yeah, subscribe to him, Cloud Strife. What the hell?
839.
839.
39.
And he doesn't have a channel yet. We might make him one.
Yeah.
You guys know me, 9000 or George. I'll talk to you guys
He has a
later.
lot. He's
Bye.
good. He's expert.